Notice a little bit of a break across the west. There's still a wintry mess that we are tracking, but we have more of that in the forecast, including, unfortunately, the flood threat for parts of Southern California. So we'll take a look at that. But on the other side of the story, there's some very comfortable temperatures, very much feeling like spring. In fact, areas headed up into the 80s, even a few approaching 90s, with that cold air still locked across parts of the Northeast. And so we'll time out when we could see that warm up. And of course, when you've got some snow in the forecast, that is all things that we are concerned about. We've already seen some pockets of severe weather this morning. Take a look at the reports we're getting in. There's that town in Texas where they reported hail the size about 3/10 of an inch in diameter. That is definitely unnerving to hear that clickety-clack on your window there. But there were storms that came through that produced quite the punch in parts of the Tennessee Valley into the mid-Atlantic, including in Georgia. Everywhere you see that circle, there has been a report. We're going to see this area begin to fire up over the next day or two, including that tornado threat. So we'll take a look at that. But tracking these showers and even a few thunderstorms, while nothing severe at this point, a lot of heavy rainfall, and so there's potential for some flooding. Alexandria right now, kind of in the thick of it, where we see not much in the way of that heaviest rainfall moving in or out of that area. So Alexandria heads up. Again, just to paint the whole picture, there are so many areas that are still seeing the high water levels. The rivers and the creeks are running high. The ground is saturated. So any little bit more of rainfall is going to be a problem. And you talk about a lot of rain, that's a big problem. On top of that, the severe risk for today in red from Dodge City, Wichita, Shreveport to Jackson over to Dallas. Main threat being the damaging winds, the hail and the heavy rain, but can't rule out a tornado. We'll talk about the Torcons out for today and how that threat increases as we go through tomorrow. All right, I want to head now to the lab where Dr. Greg Postel is, talk more about how all of this will be unfolding over the next 20 days. And we had some overnight. I thought we were going to have some video. We had some hail in parts of Tennessee, and it made a tough go on 75. Unfortunately, we've got another tough day ahead of us, and it's been a while since we've had to talk about Torcon numbers at this level for these cities. Birmingham, a Torcon of 5. This is for tomorrow. A 4 in Atlanta, Montgomery, Alabama, also a 4 out of 10 on the Torcon. So what does that mean? Well, we have that's a percentage chance. So 4 out of 10 chance in Atlanta, as an example, to see a tornado within a 50-mile radius. That is just part of the story. Timing is key as well. So think about your plans, whether it's getting the kids to school or from school or the after-school practices, your commute. So we take a look at Birmingham, and you can see right away through today, you're pretty quiet. Things pick up tomorrow morning. That is really not the area of concern or the time of concern. It's just about that evening drive, about dinner time, where we think some of those heftier thunderstorms will start to take shape, and even after the sun goes down. Similar situation in Atlanta. While we'll see some showers early for the drive on Monday morning, your Monday morning drive, we get a little reprieve for the midday, and then things really pick up again overnight after dinner here, where some of those stronger thunderstorms will be in play. So this is a nighttime situation here. That means the hail, that means the possibility of severe weather, including tornadoes. So again, when you're home, maybe perhaps away from your TV, now's the time to think about, do you have a way to get those warnings? Because again, timing is everything. If you're in your home, make sure your kids are refreshed on the severe weather plan, where they need to go if a warning is issued. And that's the case for a severe thunderstorm warning as well. You want to make sure you're away from the windows, put as many walls between you and the outside interior room. So start thinking and start talking about your kiddos for that, because again, tomorrow will be a little bit dicey. Well, you're just 2 days away from spring. Glad to have you here for weekend. Time now for your winter weather update. Dr. Greg Postel here, and we have winter weather 2 days away from spring.
Midweek again.
Right.
Seems like last midweek we had to deal with something. This midweek, yes, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Watch out for some accumulating snow across parts of the middle Atlantic. And this is kind of a sort of a slushy snow, I get the sense. It's not super cold, kind of on the borderline between rain and snow, but whatever accumulates, it could be a slushy mess.
So we've seen a sort of evolution of this map over the last couple days, where there was a definite, northeast contingency. Now it's a lot further south. What are you seeing up the pipeline there that's kind of been changing things?
Well, there's a lot of swirliness out there. Looks like a cinnamon roll out there. And there's basically pieces of the jet stream that over the next few days will one by one work their way across part of the country. In fact, there's one seemingly innocuous one right there and another one right in here. And each one of those, they're going to roll eastward, Maria, across the country. These two guys right there, can you see them?
Yes.
one trying to catch the other. I'm not sure that they catch up one another, but I'm not sure that matters. We'll have to watch that.
All right. So what does that translate into as far as weather? That's not a one blockbuster type of storm.
Probably not.
Right.
This first one goes out to sea very quickly. Watch it take out, gone. The next one hangs out a little bit longer, unfortunately, over this part of the world where an upper level disturbance over the water sometimes can trigger new development. So that second one we have to watch, even though it may not be working with the first one, may develop a low pressure system uncomfortably close to the U.S.
All right, and one of your key ways to describe it is wet snow, because it's a little bit warmer than, say, some of the past nor'easters that we've had. So there is more of a battle line, battle zone between that rain and snow.
Right, so here's the lead disturbance right there. This is that first one, which does have a lot of rain with it, maybe some wet snow on its northern edge. But there's the second one, Maria, here it comes, and it's probably colder and probably cold enough to support some snow across the mid-Atlantic, hence our forecast showed that. We also have to be very careful what happens Wednesday and Wednesday night in this part of the world, because it's notoriously capable of producing some pretty big storms.
And, you know, you see the lines of equal pressure. There is that northeast wind component, coastal flooding. We had the new moon yesterday, so high tide's a little higher right now.
Right. We have to watch out for that possibility. So to try to blend in all that data together, here's our forecast, kind of going hour by hour Monday night. System number one, mostly rain, some snow, maybe possibly across parts of Jersey. That kind of goes away quickly, right? Remember that first one that goes out to sea? Number two, Wednesday morning, we'll be dealing with, I think, maybe some more substantial chances of some snow. And we have to be very careful right along the coast here.
All right, so I see a couple of morning commutes and evening drives that will be a mess.